Hello.
Are we good to go then, Nina?
Yes, we are good
Oh,
to
shall
go.
we? Fantastic. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to our beautiful audience who are doing great service by finding time to join us on this activating talk this afternoon. So my name is Sonia, everyone, and it is my absolute pleasure to be introducing to you our two very special guests, Nina and Golden. Many of you may be here because you've previously experienced how activating Nina's talks can be. She has been a peace activist in my eyes on behalf of the Brahma Kumaris Spiritual University for the past 28 years. Nina is an international speaker, workshop, seminar facilitator, program planner for the university, and has been bringing a brighter perspective to many, many out there. And Golden, our guest, Golden, I see as the warrior of the truth. So, yes, she is an interesting soul who has been on a lifelong quest to find the truth of all things that catch her eye will press upon her heart. Golden is a published author on many of these matters and enjoys any opportunity to impart some of her findings for the benefit of those who wish to listen and learn. Now, on to our discussion today. The dialogue being clean heart, clear path. Now, in a world of disturbances and fear, do you lose your sight of what truly matters? I have to remind myself almost every day. Um, so thank you for joining us for an inspiring dialogue as two thoughtful voices explore the insightful connection between inner purity and the way it can impact life's direction. And if you're seeking to make a significant life change or find more meaning in your journey, this dialogue offers a very fresh perspective and practical insights. So I'm really, really glad that you're all tuned in um, and tuned in to hear how to cultivate a clean heart free from resentment, fear, and negativity, and how this can change the trajectory of your life. So thank you both, Nina and Golden, for making time in your busy schedule to create a space for this dialogue to take place. So on that basis, with the basis of this concept, I'd like to offer Nina and Golden the floor, um, to give us a look in to each of their perspectives on what it actually means to have a clean heart and a clear path. Starting with Golden.
Sure thing. I'm Shanti, everyone. A clean heart is to be defined in so many different ways. It is obviously um, how you choose to perceive it within your own heart. You'll know if you have a clean heart based on your integrity, on how heavy it weighs. You can generally tell just by walking down the street where your heart is at. Do you look right in front of you and are you absorbing all that is around you? Or are you consistently looking down? And usually, when I'm out in public, I can see the people who have heavy hearts because they naturally, without even realizing, are looking down while they are walking. It's only a very small percentage of people that are looking down while they are walking that are shy or they're deep in thought. But generally, if you find yourself looking down when you're walking out and about, you know that you have things on your mind that need clearing out so that you can have a clear path. And that your mind, when your mind is clear, you have no problem in looking in front of you whilst you're walking. So that's one way that you can tell even for yourself without observing anybody else. So think about that the next time you're out and about in public. Yeah.
I love that. I really love your take on what's a clean heart. So it's great having this conversation because and it's really lovely to come from different perspectives as well, perspectives, and meet in the middle. So I would actually start off by saying that we focus on the physical heart, but what is it that is going on behind the physical heart? Because really, that's what the conversation is about. The conversation is about looking at that part of the heart, that physical heart, that actually connects the physical body to the soul. So it's the subtle heart that I want to actually focus on, the subtle heart, which functions as a kind of energetic control valve between the authentic self and the non-physical self and my body. Yes. So, uh, is it in perfect working order that energetic control valve? Is it in perfect working hard order? And what impact is it having on the physical heart to cause my attitudes, my thoughts, my words, my attitudes to be a particular way? So the subtle heart needs to be clean to be able to function just in the same way as the physical heart does when it pumps blood into the body and enables the body to function. And it- that person is in optimum health and well-being. So, um, a good example of the subtle heart working is seeing how, I'm at peace. There is love in terms of how I relate to myself, and how I relate to others and the world. So I would say the focus is on what is actually happening on the subtle heart, because if the subtle heart is blocked, then the it will impact the physical body, of course. And not just that, if the subtle heart is blocked, I cannot connect with that non-physical part of me, which is what keeps my body alive and functioning. Yes. So that's my take. So the word clear path in the title, what does that mean for me? Is that if the physical heart is well, it means that um, the subtle heart is functioning properly, and there's that connection between my physical and my non-physical self. So, for example, Golden referred to um, walking with your head up or down, or your shoulders hunched. That's very much an indication of what's going on inside, because it is the inner that determines the outer.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to both of you for such in-depth explanation as to what a clean heart can actually mean, and how it sort of connects to a clear path.
Mhm.
So, what would be the connection between the inner purity that you both mentioned and life's direction through this clear path that it creates,
Yeah,
would you say?
inner purity, inner purity. Well, Golden, do you want to go first? Sure. So I have done a practitioner's certificate in a healing modality called the emotion code. And it talks to you about what sort of emotions get trapped inside your heart. Um, and so I wrote some of them down because there's quite a few. But so there's grief and sorrow, sadness, loss, emptiness, feeling of being alone or loneliness, disillusionment, humiliation, embarrassment, shame, cruelty, heaviness, disappointment, and repressed feelings. And these are all things that will have you physically looking down. If there's too many of those things weighing you down, in the poster there are two hearts with knapsacks on their back. So, how much of those things that I read out are in your personal knapsack
Mm.
and need to be let go? Um, and letting go is not as easy as just saying it. I'm well familiar with that. I carried probably half a dozen knapsacks for far too long in my life, which enables me to be on screen now with these two lovely ladies, to be able to talk to you about, I know the way out. I know how to put those knapsacks down. And it isn't an easy task. You have to become a cinnamon chick or a cinnamon chap. And sugar and spice and all things nice is definitely where your focus needs to be. The focus being the main word. You have to want to. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to get a clear heart so I can have a clear path and enjoy my life. That's the whole point in having a clear path in front of you, is so that you can enjoy your life
Mm.
and let go of some of those
Mm.
really heavy
Mm.
emotions that I read
Mm.
out to you.
Mm.
And picking them off one at a time is probably the best way to do it. Trying to clear your heart all at once, it's like trying to clean every room in your house all at the same time. It's impossible. It does take time to find that balance. And when you find the balance, then there is balance in life in all areas. It's like a
Mm.
domino effect.
Mm.
When you start to clean up your heart, you walk differently. You can feel that the path in front of you is clearer and
Mm.
that your whole life is starting to feel much more in balance, much more. And it's not until you start dropping the ugly, all those feelings that you don't want, that you start to feel the balance, or you can feel that somewhere, somehow in your mind and in your emotions, you've swept that path a little bit.
Mm.
And it is much easier for you to walk down your own path.
Mm.
Definitely.
Mm. Mm. I like your link to the fact that emotions are really very much the culprits that block our ability to connect with the heart. And I'm really keen to look beneath that to see why and how emotions block our hearts. What are we doing that allows our emotions to block the heart, which stops us from connecting with our inner being, with our inner selves, with all those qualities and virtues that we have within us. They're not outside of us, they are within us. And they can help us to actually unblock gradually over time, those blockages that are there. So in looking at the question of what is the connection between inner purity and life's direction, so um, we can look at it from a spiritual perspective, we can look at it from a philosophical perspective and a psychological perspective. And really, for me, the question actually highlights the important interplay between the inner and the outer. And as I was saying before, that the inner determines the outer. So, like the iceberg, when you think about the iceberg, um, 90% of what the iceberg consists of is at the bottom of the ocean, and we are not necessarily conscious of what's there. What we are conscious of is just 10% of the iceberg. And so it's that greater part of the iceberg that is not seen, that is like this underground stream trickling away and causing havoc to our health and well-being. It's like, I would say it's like an invisible sat nav, and that invisible sat nav takes us to unplanned directions, unplanned directions, destinations. That so what really defines the connection between inner purity and life's direction is one of the things that I would like to actually think about. So, how is it? How can we begin to become conscious of what's at the bottom of the iceberg that we are not aware of, that's causing us to move in a particular direction? That's my concern. So there are those invisible things, that we can't see. We can't, yeah, it means we're asleep.
When you're having a bad day
Hmm.
and you've either got visitors or you've got things that you've got to do,
Hmm.
and so you are able to put those emotions that are upsetting you off to the side, or you kind of put yourself off to the side until you get home and you get home and you shut the door and and you can just let your day go. And
Hmm.
strangely enough, the things that were annoying you, um, they just pop straight back up again, uninvited, do they not?
Because yes, yeah, because there's a habit. A habit is a habit, and everywhere you go, you have it.
Indeed. And so it's like a stuck record that just
Yes.
and I'm sure that most people that are listening in understand that when something's really bothering you, you just play the record over and over and over again. And we have to get more aware of the fact that the record is playing. And you'll know that it is. You can catch yourself out. I made a point of focusing on trying to catch the record playing over and over again. And then you're able to let it go much more effectively because you know what's not serving you
Mm,
simply by listening to the record that keeps playing. And then when you catch it out, um, so it's almost like you've got to play a game with yourself about you give a child in a classroom a certificate for being good.
hmm.
But in order to do that, you have to catch them out being good.
Yes.
You can't just issue it. You have to actually notice it. And it's the same in the opposite. So, in the classroom of your mind that's continually playing this record, you have to catch that record out and give it a certificate of release, because it's simply not serving you. And
No.
And so you can ask it, you can say, what are you doing here? Why do you keep playing? What is it I'm not learning? So you can have a conversation with it and know you're not crazy when you have a conversation with what's upsetting you or your
Mm.
record that's playing. Believe me when I tell you, it will answer you if you
Yes,
just ask it. Why are you here? What do you
yes.
want from me? What is
Mm,
it that I haven't learnt that
mm.
gives you the ability to keep running around inside my mind
And
rent
causing havoc.
free, you know? Rent free too, by the way. So, yeah, it's a lot of focus, it's a lot of determination. You have to want to. You have to
Yes.
want a better
Mm,
life. You
mm.
have to want a clearer path. These
Yes.
things are not just going to come to you because you had a good sleep. No, there's a lot more work to it than that. It took a lot of
Mm,
work to get all of that pain and anguish in there, and it's not going to take the same amount to get it out, but it is going to take focus there,
yes.
definitely. And you have to determine, be determined in wanting a better life for
Mm,
yourself. It's a
yes.
must, a must.
What I hear you saying is that we somehow find ourselves or get ourselves into that kind of deep slumber, sleep.
Yes.
And it's about waking ourselves out of that deep slumber that we are so addicted to, and it's difficult to actually wake ourselves up and really stay conscious and focused on doing something different. But we have to have got to the end of the road with the old.
I like
And
that.
determination has to be really strong. So, one of the things just listening to you and actually thinking about my own journey in Raj Yoga meditation over the past 28 years, 28, yes, 28 years, is being clear about my purpose. It's really having that inner, I suppose, purity as a kind of